good afternoon, good day, good night, whatever time frame you're coming from. Hello and welcome. Please stand by. This live stream with new experimental features will begin shortly. We may be forced to do some testing and debugging and stuff, but if all goes well, we'll just dive right into Zeppoverse World Building Project. That's DJ Zed on the music. And new sound alerts browser widget, which I guess means you can play sounds now. It explains it, but it also doesn't make any epic sense. I've had it on before and then no one used it. For some reason I felt motivated to get it back on. But what I really wanted was to figure out a way to get a robot voice to read the text in chat. Tragically, the solutions out there available are, in my humble opinion, redonkadonk complicated. Dear Streamlabs, you've got a chat box thing that controls all the details of my chat, including that little chimey bell that I keep hearing. Why don't you just work in some TTS right there at the root source? I just spent like 2 hours looking for like a way to get a chatbot thing to read my chat. Now I may or may not have gotten it figured out, but I'm not sure. And all the options that I found were like, you gotta were primarily set for Windows, and I've got an iMac. And then it's all really sort of like, it's not that I'm not technologically savvy. I know how to do stuff with computers, and I understood the instructions. It was just like 20 steps of doing things where they could have just programmed it to work at the root with the thing that was just one click. They could have made it easy. And none of them seemed satisfactory, but I digress. Cormac, hello, thank you for dropping in. Look at you over here. Ashley Luke just joined. Lila just joined. Hello, welcome friends, come on in. I may or may not, look at that is working. So we got that happening. Sound alerts thing is happening. Somewhere it says that this can read chat text. It has a TTS slider banner, but I don't know how do I tell it to like read the chat? They could have made all of this so much easier to use. Make it really weird and complicated. Deep down. Who else is in here? Welcome to, after forever of stalling and postponing and not doing it, I am finally doing a writing workshop on a Wednesdays thing. So I finally feel the fire of motivation. And I've had a bit of a breakthrough realization, a really good conversation with ChatGPT. So we're gonna jump to it in a second. DJ Zed in the background, you're crazy loud. Let's tune you down a little bit. There we go. Hello, welcome everybody. If you're new here, I am the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo, fictional character from a book series you haven't read yet, because we're literally about to start writing it together right now, live on stream. That's right. I am an old school gamer that missed out on the last 25 years worth of gaming history. I played like a game. I played a handful of video games, but I didn't play Call of Duty franchise, I didn't play Assassin's Creed franchise, etc., etc., etc. That's the chatbots chatbotting away, and they're not really actually bots, they're more like timers, but whatevs. What else was I gonna look at? Let's put this in performance mode. Let's go over to the other thing and make a few tweaks. This is happening. Thank you for your chat bottiness, chatbots. We're gonna turn off the ones that have already fired off so they don't redundantly fire off some more. Hi guys. Oh, that gets annoying. I didn't realize it would be that annoying. Let me put it in the headset. Let me put everything over here in the USB device. But now it'll be over there and not. Although that does ruin it for the chat. Will we be able to hear ChatGPT's voice if I do that? Because I've been capturing ChatGPT's reading voice using my microphone as if I was interviewing the computer. Okay, so let me explain a few things for anybody who's new and doesn't know what's going on. The Zeppoverse, duh, obvious. It's my literary universe. It's an original, I think, science fiction, action adventure collection of way too many ideas that I've been constipated about, like at the keyboard, but that live in high def, lucid, brilliant clarity in my head. I just can't bring myself to type it all out. It's I'm a collaborative creator by nature, honestly, and that is an excuse. I'm not trying to ride other people's coattails. I'm engineered from the subatomic level up through the cellular and the microbiological, and like all my systems are about engaging in collaborative discourse, so that between that collaboration between myself and someone else or other people, ideas will eventually emerge that neither one of us would have thought of on our own, and that only came into existence because of the collaborative action. And the curse I have is that I wasn't born wealthy into old money, so I could just hire the people I need to work with. And I never made it big in any of my various adventures. I survived, like most people in this country, paycheck to paycheck, and learned a lot and got some great opportunities where basically I was used for my labor and creativity, but was never given the opportunity to then become the creative leader. Not complaining, I'm just saying it didn't happen. So here we are, former arts and entertainment professional that sort of felt like everything was a dead end and a bit of a, you're a workhorse, stop giving us ideas, we don't need them kind of a place, to here, independent content creator that's been experimenting and sort of slowly building my way up to trying to force myself to develop my book series live as a stream, so that we get audience participation in the process, feedback from like the alpha audience, right? And then that alpha audience can be the ground floor alpha reading, beta reading readers over on Wattpad, where there's already sample chapters. So if you're interested and curious, head on over to Wattpad. If you don't already have an account, if you've never heard of it, where have you been? It's huge. There's already been super blockbuster books that got turned into movies discovered there. I won't bring up which ones, because one of them is the most famous. Is actually kind of embarrassing because, you know, despite what a huge blockbuster it was, a lot of people don't like it. But that's neither here nor there. Wattpad is great, although I haven't liked some of the user interface changes they've made lately, but that's neither here nor there. Wattpad is a place that's kind of like Facebook, but for authors that are slowly developing, in my case, very slowly. You'll when you get there and you notice the dates on some of the original publications, you'll be like, wow, this guy's really stalled out. It's been years. But I think the universe has finally come full circle and bashed me upside the head the right way and lit a fire under my ass that we're about to get going. And so the substitute for like my core collaborative ensemble that I sort of wish I had, but don't have the money to hire anybody to do, is going to be ChatGPT and maybe other free AI systems as I continue to tinker and explore. To that end, we now we can turn to what it should be the most interesting of. Here, let's turn off the chatbots. Bye, chatbots. Thank you for your nonsense. I don't know if those will still, the timers will still drop of the ones that haven't dropped yet. But I do indeed humbly invite you to go check out a handful of my episodes of my multifaceted, real, raw, radically unscripted audio blog talk show style podcast that you can listen to for free. At full disclosure, it is monetized. And in theory, that's going to be one of the things that becomes the driving engine that gives me the fiscal or financial power to then become a job creator. But for that to happen, we need a few 100,000 people to listen. Right now, it's listened to I'm very quite excited about this. It has, for a long time, had a very wide net of audience. My podcast, I can humbly brag, is listened to in 25 plus countries around the world. It varies day to day, month to month, week to week. But on average, in 25 plus a few more countries around the world, somebody is listening to my podcast. Like a person or two. What we need is for those numbers to explode exponentially so that it's several hundred, if not several thousand in every country. So if you are listening to my podcast already and you appreciate it, please, oh please share about it. Even if it is weird, raw, rough and tumble, sometimes a little bit chaotic. Now, the part of the podcast that applies directly to what we're going to be doing today and in this special segment is the world building project. And that's where I've been brain dumping raw ideas. So, if you go to, I can show you, I guess. Follow me, friends, through the desktop portal of Streamlabs Infinity Portals. Take a look at what we're talking about. Should you ever happen to do me the honor of checking out this podcast, you would want to come over here to this link. I'll drop this in chat right now. Actually, I'll drop you the direct chat. You can ignore all the other segments. This is the mainline channel where the brand new episodes drop. So people can just subscribe to this. And then these are the curated channels where if you want to do a deep dive into the specific segments and the back catalog of episodes, you can just click on this one. Since right now we're talking specifically about the Zeppoverse world building project, I will drop this link in chat right now. This is where I've been brainstorming. This is chaotic. This is messy. This is not a structured audio book yet. This is imagery and idea and sometimes crazy long-winded rants about stuff, but all of it related to the book series, where I will continue to add stuff. And for example, this episode we're creating right now is going to become an audio blog episode over there. Now that we won't always be doing this kind of crossover event, so you'll want to go over there if you want to support this show. I will be writing on the live stream very consistently, but I'll continue to drop audio exclusive new ideas, crazy stuff. Things come out of me in the middle of the night.